everyone? Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. I'm back with another indie horror spotlight. Today with us, listen, this is creator does a lot. First, he's an author and he has a book out right now that's called To Break a Pale Yoke. And he is director, producer, acting. Listen, he's doing wearing a lot of hats. And the movie, the Blu-rays are about to drop any day if they haven't already. And it's called Saint Drago. I have with us Brandon Paris Sanchez. Brandon, welcome to the horror room.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
You too, man. Man, it's a pleasure having you on, man. Pleasure having you on. So tell us a little bit first about your book, To Break a Pale Yoke.
Yeah. It's my third. It's like a third short novel. It takes place in the early '90s over Easter weekend. It's religious horror. It kind of explores themes of Western religion versus kind of pagan religion. In a very weird way. I don't want to give too much away, but it's a kind of like a splatter punky, just psychedelic nightmare.
Like, I love religion horror because religion on itself is pretty fucking freaky and scary, and it has a lot of horror undertones to it.
Oh yeah. It's creepy. It's creepy.
So when you were writing this story, did you do any research or did you do any readings, anything on different types of religion?
Yeah, I did a ton of research. So primarily the story centers on the idea of human vessels in Calvinism, which is essentially people who are just destined to go to hell no matter what, like even if you are a devout follower. So there's a little bit of that, and I also did a ton of research on the history of the pagan roots of Easter, which goes back really deep into really weird arenas. So that was kind of fascinating to learn about the three sisters of dawn. There's all these things that connect to Easter and all the weird things, and there's a lot of interesting connections um, to like the number three and all these kind of odd little things, but that kind of connect into other religions. It'd be a lot to explain right now, but if you ever get bored, go down the wormhole of the roots of Easter. It's kind of cool. And then, like most Catholic and Christian religions are just taken from pagan tradition. Christmas itself and Easter and just belting. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, if you go down the rabbit hole and start looking at a lot of Western holidays and celebrations,
Oh yeah.
there is some deep, dark stuff behind it.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially like just how much they transitioned from like a lot of pagan religions had female deities, and then they kind of transitioned them into more of like a patriarchal, like male centered religion with usurping of these pagan holidays into Christian holidays and Jewish holidays and Muslim holidays, all kind of very similar themes and things that go on, but they kind of pull from like old Celtic and pagan religions, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm a Christian. Listen, I follow, religion. I'm not saying that listen, I definitely don't live my life like one, but I definitely follow it, I should say. And if you really like think about it, it has all religion has this underlying cult
Yeah.
like feeling behind it. And I'm really into cults. But I'm not part of a cult. I'm not a cult leader, but I'm really into cults because if you think about it, religions and cults, they prey on the weak. Like most people who are millionaires and billionaires are not religious people. It's usually the poor, the impoverished, the people who are looking for something
Mhm.
and they're looking for a better life. Those are the ones who usually steer towards cults and religion.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too because the access to a lot of these religions is kind of karma based, and like the philosophies of Christ himself like are amazing. Like if everyone kind of followed those philosophies, it'd be a much better place. But I think when back in the king and queen's days when they all got a hold of the Bible and all the rewrites of it and kind of just made it a very like just a terrifying thing to kind of scare people from not killing each other and turn it into some kind of weird like primitive law, but kind of sucked out all the good parts of it and just I don't know. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be killing people, but like they kind of added all this other stuff that shouldn't have been in there too, just like women are secondary, like the whole homosexuality thing too, which is kind of misinterpreted and kind of out of place, which doesn't really fit with the philosophies of Christ, anyways. But that's I go on forever about that stuff.
I've always wondered why so many Christians are against horror, the horror genre period. Because if you look at especially 80s and early 90s horror, it ties in with a lot of the things you're not supposed to do in the Bible. Because like if you
Yeah,
have premarital sex, you die. If you do drugs, you die. You're an asshole, you die. Like, in order to be the final girl, you had to be this pure, innocent virgin, and it really goes hand in hand with religion. And I think most people don't realize that.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. There definitely is like a purity thing with slashers too, with the kids causing trouble and acting on their impulses, the ones that usually get picked off. Um, yeah, it is odd. You would think that there would be more of a connection with religious people and horror in that regard too. But
It never went away because they focus on the gore and everything. But if you read the Bible, it's a fucking gory massacre too. So
oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, children get eaten by bears. There's all kinds of
yes.
fun stuff in there.
Now, as a writer, when it comes to writing short stories, do you prefer short stories? Because I can imagine writing a short story is a little harder than writing a full length novel because you got to get that beginning, middle, end. You have a short time span in doing it.
Well, luckily, the ones I'm writing are short novels, so they're about like 130, 150 pages. But no, I agree with you. It's writing shorts is really hard. I kind of grew up reading a lot of like mythology and folklore. Like you said, like those stories are like really complex in three parts, and yeah, they're pretty short. But like when you're writing like horror prose, you do want to add more to it. So it's hard to kind of convey everything you want to convey in just three acts and keep it as a short. But yeah, I prefer just doing the short novels or the book I'm working on now is going to be a novel. It's probably going to be like 300, 400 pages. But yeah, my other three are fairly short, like 150, 130, 150, somewhere in there.
And right now, when it comes to shorts, short movies, short books, short novels, just TikTok, YouTube, all that. Short is the way to go. It seems like as Americans, our attention span is at an all time low. I know mine has been. Do you feel like that's the way of the future is to go short?
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing, but it is reality that I'm gonna have to face. So when I wrote my first short novel, The White Bishop, it's from a screenplay that I wrote. Same with the second one, Recessive Nature. So Aaron Beauregard sat me down and helped me adapt my screenplay into a short novel. And the chapters, like we're writing out, were like super short. And I was like, Aaron, is this okay? These chapters are only like a few pages. And he's like, no, like this is just how it is now. Like people prefer to read shorter chapters. Um, yeah, so I guess it's and with film too. I mean, movies have been getting longer, which is interesting, but I feel like a lot of modern horror has been kind of they've been they feel short. It feels like I'm missing something in a lot of the modern like shorter slashers and stuff. Things just kind of fly by.
Yeah. Now, you also jumping into from writing short novels to making feature horror films, which is a completely different animal because writing you're doing you can do whatever you want when it comes to writing. Unfortunately, making films you do have a budget and constraints you can work in. Now, how do you transition from writing to actually going into filmmaking?
So luckily, like I have a really good crew of people that I film with. Our film crew is called Monster Makeup. So it's nice to have like we all kind of split up some of the duties, which is nice. Um, but it is a fun transition because when I'm writing, I have no budget and I can go to the bounds of my imagination. But like you said, like with budgetary restraints with filming, we kind of have to all become MacGyvers with it and figure out the lighting ourselves, like figure out some of the framing ourselves and doing we hire out for special effects. That's like one thing our crew always do. Like we'll do some stuff ourselves, but we want the good stuff, like the gross stuff, to be done by a professional.
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's definitely it's two very very different worlds.
And you have a new film that's, like I said in the beginning, it's going to be releasing on Blu-ray soon, and it's called
Yeah,
Saint Drago. Tell us a little bit about Saint Drago.
sure. So we filmed that one during COVID. It did the festival run. We've just been kind of with filming our next movie. We kind of like not really backburnered it, but it's just taken a while for us to get it onto Blu-ray and get that out there. The landscape for indie and micro budget filmmakers has really changed over the last couple of years. It's become really difficult. So for people like us to get something streaming, it's a nightmare. It's like a it's like a terrible obstacle course where everyone just grabs money from you every step of the way. So we're trying to figure out a way because we don't have money to get our stuff out there without having to pay like a million people. So that's been really tricky. So it's we finished it a while ago, so it's finally coming out like in the next couple of weeks on Blu-ray. And then it's a oh yeah, I skipped what it's about. So San Drogo is about it's like a folk horror that takes place in Provincetown on the edge of the Cape during the winter time. It's about a couple that's kind of having some turmoil, and they one of them is going to look for their ex-boyfriend who may or may not have vanished on the Cape from when he was working over the summer. and then they start stumbling upon some weird shit.
Nice. Now, when it came to then, did you do the screenwriting for this one as well, or?
Yeah, so San Diego was myself, Ryan, my boyfriend Ryan, and Mike. The three of us kind of got together, wrote this screenplay, and Mike wrote the script for it. And then we got the crew together and just started taking a bunch of trips down to P Town. And I played the lead role in it. And so yeah, we all kind of wear different hats. Like Ryan did the sound for it, and he's acted a little bit. Mike is my co-actor too, and he's like the main writer. So we all just kind of do different stuff. It's hard. We were going to cast out for it, but during COVID, you can only have small parties of like 6 people.
Yeah.
So we had such a tight crew. We had like our cameraman Kevin. We had like Wayne and Chris, our other crew members down there too. So we kind of had to like be stealthy and sneak around and try to remain as six anytime we're like in a group in public, for obvious reasons. But like it was fun. It took about 2 years or 2.5 winters to film it and edit it all. But yeah, it's finally done.
And you released it on Blu-ray. You talk about streaming. I am still, I was born in the '80s, so I'm a physical media guy. But like, it seems like everything is fucking going towards streaming now. And so, like, how, as a filmmaker, how do you get your Blu-rays out there? I mean, because there are no stores anymore. Like, do you do horror conventions? How do you get your physical media out?
That's a great question, and for people that are listening to, like, I do want to really put this out there. It's like there are companies that like you send your Blu-ray to, and they make them to print. So like it's traditionally you'd want to go to the distributor, and if you can find a distributor that's not going to like rip you off or fuck you over, which 99% of them will, I would avoid that at all costs. But to save money, there's a company. Oh God, I went for the name. It starts with a K. Where you send them all your stuff, and the Blu-rays are print to order, and they send you as the filmmakers Blu-rays at cost. So like you had mentioned, like we can go to cons and festivals and sell them there, and then we keep 100% of the profit, as opposed to like having a distributor that says they're gonna do these wonderful things for you and offers you money that you don't really get, and then they're selling all your Blu-rays and DVDs, and then you don't see a dime, and then they have the rights to all your shit.
Because I mean, that's the awful thing about it. Like, it's easier to get your project out there now, but
yeah.
but filmmakers are seeing less and less of the profits.
Yeah, and it's this predatory model that has just kind of been normalized, and there's laws that work with them. I think a lot of them spill down from like Hollywood execs and people that have just like kind of shoehorned in these really shitty practices. And yeah, it's like a lot of these distributors, like their business model is looking for inexperienced new filmmakers that don't know really what they're doing, and then they offer you the world. They like tell you to do all these things, and like I've talked to other filmmakers that have different distributors that have all been told like verbatim like the same shit that like we were told too. So it's like it is just like this thing. Yeah, so if your business model is to skim off of indie artists and micro budget artists, you're kind of a piece of shit, and you should maybe find a real business model that, I don't know, helps artists. Like like for instance, if we got a good chunk of money back on our first movie, we would have kept making more movies. We could have had some kind of like symbiotic relationship where like both parties were benefiting, but that's not the case. So if anyone is listening, there are companies out there that'll print your Blu-rays for a really low cost, and you can do it all yourself. The one downside is you have to do all the marketing yourself, but distributors don't really help with that anyways. So you do have to get really savvy about getting on TikTok, getting on Instagram. It's my least favorite part of all this stuff. Like, I hate doing the TikToks and stuff, but it is essential and crucial. Like, you need to do it.
But it's such to be an indie filmmaker, especially in horror right now. There's so many fucking predators out there. Like, I mean, I did a little video last year about the indie horror film festivals. Like, there's so many of them, and a huge percentage of them are absolute scams. Absolute scams.
Yes.
And they prey on inexperienced indie horror filmmakers that are chasing for laurels and chasing for something,
Yeah.
And so you're dealing with the indie horror film festivals. You're dealing with the indie horror conventions. A lot of them are fucking scammers.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to get money out of you so you can pay $600,000 for a fucking booth that no one's even come to the convention.
Yep.
And then you have to deal with the distributors and the streaming channels. You're getting fucked every single damn way.
You're right, and that's another trial by fire thing we did, like for our first film too. Is like we're just like, let's just send to every possible festival that like looked interesting. But as we've gotten wiser and smarter, and like I've talked to people that have done this many times, like you said too, it's like there are a lot that are you can make a lot of money because some of these festivals, even like some of these more like lower tier ones, like they'll get like 400, 500 submissions, and each one of those comes with like a registration cost, or when you send
Mhm.
your video in, you send money in with it too. It's also sometimes you have to get like DCPs and stuff for your film, which costs money to send to. So it's a money sink and a time sink. And I think for best thing to do is to really ask around as to what, like, from people who've done this for like what festivals they prefer, because there's some good ones out there. But I agree, really do have to rake through Film Freeway, and you got to talk to people. So if you see someone that's a filmmaker that you like at a film in a certain festival, I would definitely reach out to them and be like, hey, like how was this festival? Was it worth your time? There's some good ones, like Nightmares in Ohio is fantastic. Sick and Wrong in Florida, which I think they changed their name, is great. Salem Horror Fest. I'm probably forgetting a bunch too, but there's some cool ones out there. But there's also a lot that aren't cool.
Yes, and I have quite a few that I'm sponsors of, and so anyone, if you see me, that I'm a sponsor of a film festival, that's a real legit film festival.
Hell yeah.
They're not paying me to be a fucking sponsor. Actually, I'm paying them to be a sponsor. So, like, so there are some legit film festivals out there, but majority of them are just laurel farms where you're paying to get a laurel.
Oh my god,
So
that's a great term for it.
yes, but that's why I call them laurel farms, because I mean, if that's what you want, if you want your poster to be filled up with a bunch of laurels from the South African Film Festival and the New Zealand Film Festival, they are not even real fucking things. Like, go ahead and do that. Like, but like if you run into someone who's an intellect like me, I am going to Google. Oh, you won your selection in this film festival. I'm literally going to Google that film festival, and then when I see that there's nothing up there, I'm going to say, okay, then it takes your credibility away as a film festival. And at that point, you're chasing after laurels.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's it's so true.
Yes. All right. So Brandon, listen, I do this every once in a while on my channel with my
Sure.
guests. So I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to ask you three random horror questions. These are your personal opinion.
Sure.
All right. The first one: what is one horror movie that everybody loves that you feel is overrated?
Oh god, where to begin? um, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with. Oh man, I don't even know where to begin. Um, I was shocked with how many people like 28 years later and how good of a score that had. I did not.
That's horrible.
I watched it the other day and I just couldn't believe what was going on. And then you go on Letterbox and it has like a 3.4 or something. I'm reading all these positive reviews. I'm like, did I miss something? And I'm reading the 5 stars and I'm like, I feel like I watched an entirely different movie. Oh, that one was not for me.
I agree. So, that one was a recent one, as well as I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboot or the legacy version. Everybody was saying, I love this movie. And I'm like, what? And this one, credible indie horror filmmakers who have said they love that movie. And I am like second guessing them now because I'm like, this is the worst movie I've seen in a long time. Those two movies, I'm like, holy shit! I thought that you were like somebody I trust when it comes to films. And you like both of these movies? Like, yikes!
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the Know What You Did Last Summer one. It's funny because I don't really like that series at all. And like,
Me either.
it was, it was something.
Yes, because the only reason I went to see it because everybody told me it was so great. I was like, there was like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm like, okay. And like 20 minutes in, I knew who the killer was. I was like, okay, this is a big budget movie, and the acting was worse than most indie horror films. Like the
Yeah.
acting and the script was just bad, and I was just like, whoa, this is. I don't. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, but I thought both those movies were terrible, unwatchable.
No,
28 years later, I didn't even make it all the way through that one.
it felt like they both had like very little human involvement. It felt very just mechanical, and I don't
It
know.
felt like it was written by AI, didn't it?
Yeah,
Didn't it? It felt AI-ish.
yeah. There's been a few movies that have come out the last couple of years. I'm like, did AI compose and write all this? Like, it just doesn't. The way people talk to each other, it just feels like robots. It's just odd. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. All right, the second question is, which horror franchise do you wish would take a break?
Honestly, I kind of wish like all of them would take a break. um, I love all the like the a lot of the '80s franchises, and I really love, but I just feel it's like we're getting so many reimaginings. I think it's kind of clogging the the pipeline for new ideas and new things, new filmmakers. Like, and I feel like every director right now is like trying to take a stab at one of them. Like I know like they're doing like another like there's more Halloweens coming out. There's another Texas Chainsaw Massacre coming out, and it's
Yeah,
like I don't need to see every direct. I feel like it's like this level of narcissism too, where it's like I don't need to see like your version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I don't like I want to see like different blood and different brains like making cool shit. I don't know. Like like say what you will about Terrifier. I'm in the middle of Terrifier. I enjoy them, they're fun. But what I like about them the best is it's like it's a new franchise that's been created recently. It's a new character that's been created recently. So it's like it's I give it props for that. I kind of wish that like there was more space for people to kind of pop these new ideas in, and even if they fail, at least like make an attempt instead of like Halloween 38. That's it's just
I absolutely totally agree with you. I think that right now we are going into a downfall in horror because horror does this. It goes up and it goes
yeah,
all the way down and crashes. And it crashes for about 5 years. And then someone comes out with something brand new and, like Blair Witch Project or Scream or Hostel slash Saw. And then people copy that for years and years and years. We get some good things, and then it does again. It dies. And I think horror has been on uphill for so long,
yeah,
way too long than it should be, and it's about to crash in time soon. Unfortunately,
yeah. It's sad. It's sad.
yeah.
I feel like, and I don't want to like sound old, but I feel like the last couple of years have just been brutal with the stuff too. It's like a lot of these movies I get excited for, you go see them, and it's like the ad campaigns and the trailers are better than the movie. Like,
Yes, yes. Oh, people disagree with me, but I feel like in the next year, horror is going to take that disappear dive
yeah,
because yeah, but it's time. It's time for that to happen so we
yeah.
can get those new filmmakers and those new ideas out. Horror has to die in order for us to get better stuff.
That's very, very true. I've never thought about it that way, but that is actually very true.
Yes, it has to die.
I think the fans have to kind of step it up too. It's like, you vote with your money. Like I feel like I'm so tired of all like the Hollywood stuff. It's just so contrite and boring. I feel like it's safe. I don't know. I was surprised to see Terrifier 3 in the theater. I'm glad there's like they gave that opportunity. It's pretty gnarly, but Damien Leone like didn't sell his shit off to Hollywood, which is great. I think that's why it did so well. So yeah, I think like as a consumer, vote with your money. Like you mentioned earlier too, like you sponsor like a horror film festival. Like maybe it'd be good for horror fans to kind of dig around more for horror film festivals. Like a lot of them are virtual now too. You can watch them at home. You can pay for a ticket. Start putting your money towards like new ideas and new blood, and let's clear the playing field.
I agree because Sinners was the one of the best horror movies I've seen in the last 2 years. It was a completely original idea, and that's why I liked it so much because it was something completely original and different.
I
And
really enjoyed Bring Her Back too. I had fun with that one.
yes, that was great as well. But I even loved the X series. X Pearl and Maxine. I loved them because there was something completely different. It was like,
Yeah.
and like that's what horror needs to do. But unfortunately, I think horror is going to die within the next year. And but we're going to have that great resurgence where we're going to have a whole bunch of new indie horror filmmakers who are going to get opportunities in Hollywood
Yeah.
and produce some great stuff. And so that's what's going to happen. And unfortunately, Eli Ross and you know the ones who are making the Blumhouse are going to die off, and but somebody has to replace them, and that could be you. That could be an indie horror filmmaker. That's going to be an indie horror filmmaker, and that's what we need.
Yeah, or even just like a good production studio too. I think like A24 is fine, but they got too big for their britches. I feel like now it's like they have like bigger budgets. I feel like the movies aren't as fun anymore. I liked when they were kind of like more. I mean, they've never been like micro budget. They've been lower budget. I thought it made it more fun. It's like like
Hmm.
It Follows and Green Room and like all those earlier ones are just like
Oh,
they're like
Green
a
Room was
blast.
amazing.
And like I now it's like they're kind of just I don't know. It just feels like they have too much money and it's not fun anymore.
That's A24. A24, the Green Room and all that. A424 used to be fun. A24 is not fun anymore because A24 has money now,
Yeah,
and it's not it's not the same thing. It's
no, I
not.
agree.
All right. The final question is going to be: is there a horror movie that's coming out soon that you're really excited for?
Yeah, actually, we were just having this conversation the other night too, and now I'm like, I can't remember which movie it was. I'm curious about the Toxic Avenger remake.
I want to see that. I want
I,
to see that.
I hope that one's fun. Oh my god, what the heck? There was something coming out in October. Man, no, I can't remember. There's a really weird one coming out with Sigourney Weaver called Dust Bunny that sounded interesting.
Ooh.
I hope that's good. Uh, my god, this is why I need to get more sleep. So we just saw it together last night. A group of friends. We were like talking about like, other horror movies coming out that we were looking forward to, and we literally just had this conversation. I totally forgot. Oh, Strange Harvest, I think it was called. It's the found footage one.
Yes.
I'm a huge found footage fan, so I'm
Me
really
too.
hoping this is a good one. And I think like the new Horror in the High Desert, I think is coming out at some point soon too. And I really enjoyed the those first three as well.
There's one that's coming out soon that I had a chance to see, and it's not out yet. It's called Weapons.
Oh yeah.
Weapons is so fucking good.
Oh good. Okay.
So fucking good. Um, I saw that illegally on bootleg, so that's why I'm not promoting that. I saw that, but yeah, but I saw that on bootleg, and it's not out yet. So don't watch it on bootleg, guys. Go to the theaters and support it. But I'm going to theater and rewatch it so I can support it because it was such a great movie.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm psyched about that.
Yeah, so Weapons is fun. All right, Brandon, where can everyone find you, my friend, and your work?
Yeah. So I'm on all the socials, unfortunately, but you got to do that as a indie filmmaker and
You
indie
have
author.
to.
You got to be on the socials. Um, I'm on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram. My website is my initials is bpshorror.com. There's like a link tree in there too that has all the socials. Brandon Perez Sanchez on Instagram. I think it's all like underscores between my name, but
And the link to bps.com is down in the description, so please click on that, everyone, and follow my man, Brandon. Brandon, it's a blast having you on, brother.
oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It's been a blast being on here.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody, grab your copy of To Break a Pale Yoke and look out. Oh, listen, grab your copy of Damn Saint Drago. It's on Blu-ray as well. You can find it on the website. So please grab your copy and look out for Brandon next year. I'm gonna have him on to talk about Queen of the Rats, which
Yeah.
sounds like an amazing movie. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to another edition of the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce, and this is Brandon Paris Sanchez. We'll see you next time. Take care.